of Captain Marvel.
I firmly disagree with you. We've talked about that many times.
I think that's the perfect way to write her out.
There's not a chance they're dusting her.
That's
not
the perfect way to write her out of this movie. She is gone for the entirety of the movie until the real Avengers solve this, and then she could go have her date with Thanos.
I don't think there's a chance they're dusting her. I don't think Marvel has the testicular fortitude to do something like that.
To dust such an important character that's not only as powerful or more powerful than Thanos, but to be a headliner for your next series of movies.
My biggest concern with Captain Marvel is her stealing the show in End Game. And I don't mind if she's the headliner moving forward. Don't mishear me.
You hate women.
I don't mind if she's
you
the
sexist
headliner.
pig.
But I really want this movie to focus around the original Avengers figuring this out one last time.
And I think it will. I think there are other ways.
I'm worried we're going to have an ex machina of here's Captain Marvel. She can't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Game over. Heroes win.
Well, it is the ending of the game.
Yeah.
And that all reflects back to the original movie, too. Like, what are they going to do in the movie to make her look like she's so powerful that...
Photon beams.
Well, no. I mean, like, as far as, can she blow up planets with her photon beams?
Or we know she can blow up ships.
But...
Now, and jukeboxes.
Yeah.
Poor jukebox.
I mean, poor Star-Lord could blow up ships, too.
Yeah, but he can't do it with his actual hands.
Yeah.
No, but, I mean, like, you take somebody like Iron Man who has the repulsor rays, like, he can... I'm pretty sure he could blow a hole through a pretty big ship with those.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like,
definitely.
Like, it's... I don't think that just those photon rays are going to be enough to make her that...
Maybe that's Thanos' weakness. Not rays, photon beams. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, you know what? I'm wondering...
Quantum photon beams.
So Captain Marvel, from what I understand, is set a decent amount in
1990s.
Yeah. So up until that point, the only real superhero that the world really had access to was Captain America.
Yeah, and that was 50 years before.
So I'm wondering if maybe at the time she does seem like this big, huge, powerful being.
But now she's not?
Yeah, because
they
haven't come across like Hulk or Iron Man.
And you bring up a really good point because that's a way that they could introduce X-Men. They could introduce, all of that.
Which none of that's getting introduced.
No. I'm just saying that's a way that they can introduce because they were all there before. Technically,
they've just been hiding.
And just in hiding. Well, technically in New York.
At New York at a school. That would be a really interesting way to do it because they have just talked about how powerful she is. Like multiple times in multiple interviews, we hear how powerful she is, but they've never actually said she is. Like they've never come out and said she is just uber powerful compared to everybody else. Now they did say she can take on Thanos, but we saw Iron Man take on Thanos.
They did say
he didn't do extremely well. But I would say Iron Man did the best.
Most powerful character in the Marvel Universe.
They did, but let's be honest. Okay, so if Iron Man, let's say the Iron Man, you would consider Thor probably actually over Iron Man. Thor is probably the most powerful character in the Marvel Universe right now, just in terms of what he can do when he has an axe.
Yes.
Which retconned his... It's so stupid. They can't figure out if they want him to be powerful with a weapon or without it.
Yeah.
But either way, he's probably the most powerful. He's the only one that's able to actually stand up to Thanos in any way besides Iron Man. And you never really felt Iron Man stood a chance.
No.
And so you have him, which means she has to be more powerful than Thor. That's the benchmark they've set. And Thor basically single-handedly turns the tide of the battle in Wakanda. So she has to be able to... in my opinion, single-handedly not turn the tide of a battle, just literally fight the battle. She has to be the one, if they're going to say she's the most powerful, then she has to be able to take on an army by herself, without the other Avengers around her and stuff like that. And I think they might set her up as that.
I think they'll set her up as that in Captain Marvel.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
She'll take on like the Skrull army or whatever.
See, but here's the problem that you run into, too, is... the group that she's with the
it's like the Starfighters or something.
The
like
Starfighters, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the Creed, whatever the Creed.
No, the Star Forge is in Star
No,
Wars.
Force.
No, the Force is in Star Wars as well.
That's why she's so powerful. She's the Force.
She's a flippin' Jedi.
They need to show. They need to show her her willingness to be with a group, and not necessarily by herself. But they need to show both sides of that coin.
When you mention that, I think that's going to be something the Russos exploit, because she's not going to be used to working in a group.
But she's been in a group,
right? But like, towards the end of the movie, at least from the shot of the trailer, it seems like she's a loner.
Yeah.
Well, right.
And I
She
think
stitches the green and puts on the titular red.
And I think they can exploit that a little bit in Endgame.
Stop it. I don't think she's snapped out of existence. I do think she's not around for most of the movie. Excuse me. I think that wherever she is...
Do you think it's like another thing with like Wakanda where like everything is going south and suddenly here she is?
No, I don't think they quite do that. I'm not obviously a writer. I can come up with some very easy tropes to do, but let's be honest. The Russo brothers, I'm not talking all of Marvel, but the Russo brothers don't do easy. They've done a good job in all three of their movies of presenting certain twists that aren't actually twists, that don't necessarily go anywhere, but of keeping you kind of on the edge of your seat a little bit, going, okay, where's this going next? Where are you going with this next? So I'm trusting them to present her in the right way. We've all said this before, that this movie, well, Tyler hasn't said it because he hasn't been on the podcast, but that... that this is Captain America's movie. Infinity War was Iron Man's movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this movie is Cap's movie. The Infinity... I mean, obviously, Iron Man and stuff is in it. I'm not saying that. But that this movie is going to center around Cap and Black Widow doing whatever it is they have to do. Iron Man will come in at the end. It wouldn't surprise me if she's not in it till the end in some way. That wherever she goes after... Captain Marvel, because that's one of the things they have to explain. Where the halibut has she been through the Chitauri invasion, through Ultron, and through the first part of Infinity War? Where has she been throughout all of this?
Not to mention all the other world-ending crises that
have
happened in the rest of the MCU.
So they do have to explain where has she been. They also have to explain how come nobody talked about her back in Iron Man 1 when this hero starts flying around. How come nobody went, hey, this kind of reminds me of this superhero from 20 years ago. She was a girl. So they've got some answers to this movie that they have to give us.
I'm very interested in that because I think they'll S.H.I.E.L.D. will cover it up somehow. Like, and when Coulson says in Iron Man 1, this is not my first rodeo, we'll finally see
we know
his
why
first
this
rodeo.
isn't his first rodeo, because he's in this one.
There are things like that I look forward to seeing in this. I'm really interested to see Coulson again.
Now we're talking
and Nick Fury.
We're talking about the ending of this movie and her coming in it. So let's talk about ending and the runtime. The last thing. Did you like that segue?
I did.
Yeah,
that was pretty
I'm
good.
getting better at this. It's 3 hours long, a little bit over.
We don't have official time yet.
We know, right? We don't have an official time. It's believed to be at least 3 hours. Okay,
over 3 hours.
Right.
Yes.
And they have talked about. I don't know who asked him, the Russo brothers, that is, about the idea of an intermission. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to shoot straight with you. I've watched the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings without an intermission because if a movie is good enough, you cross your legs and you watch the movie.
Or you wear your commemorative, the weekly nerd diapers.
Yes. We will be passing them out at the theaters. Yeah. You get a diaper, you get a diaper. No, but okay, so let's just say this movie is 3.5. All right, let's put it at around a Lord of the Rings mark, which we're about 3.5. Okay, let's put it at that benchmark.
Perfect.
I don't think it needs an intermission. I think intermission would be stupid, and you're going to talk about one reason that I don't fully agree with, but it is a reason. My biggest reason is we're going to see it at 9 o'clock. Okay. So the chance of us hearing a spoiler at our intermission is low because there isn't a movie before us except for an 8 o'clock showing, which won't be out yet. However, I want to be able to exit said theater, go to the bathroom, and start talking about said movie. I don't want to have to wait till I get in the car because I don't want to spoil it for somebody else. We don't run the risk as much of a spoiler because of the time that we're seeing it, but other people will. And that's the biggest thing for me, because you better believe if this movie is as good as it should be, people are going to be talking about it as they exit the theater.
I like the fact that you just Christopher Walken'd yourself into the bathroom.
Did I?
Yeah, you're like, I would like to say that I go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
See, I was thinking this like with Infinity War, like, where if you had to put an intermission in Infinity War, where would you put it? Like, if you had to, where would you put it? And for
I
me,
could only think of one logical place.
For me, I could only think of after Gamora dies.
That would be it. That
my
would
thing
be
is,
it.
after-
You leave on this cliffhanger.
But my thing is, after that,
Really?
do you really want an intermission where you go
Stop
to the
it.
bathroom and people are talking about this while other people could be going to see a movie? That it's the same movie, and you
Yeah.
could be talking about, wow, I can't believe Gamora just died.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
What, Gamora dies?
And I think of that with Endgame. Like, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that because I've been walking into theaters with people leaving another showing, and they're like, "Shut your mouth!" Someone told me about Han Solo dying, even though I knew it was going to happen.
yeah.
I'm not an idiot, but someone was talking about,
Well.
"Shut up! No one's seen Episode 7 yet, besides you.
Yeah.
Shut up!"
I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, we all saw
I
it.
saw episode 8.
My biggest complaint with the intermission, I think it pulls you out of the movie. I don't think that's a good thing. I think you want to keep your audience engaged, and to be honest, I don't think they go over 3
Aren't
hours.
you already married?
I think it will go.
What?
I'm just going to ignore your comment. I think it's going
I
to
missed
go.
that.
He said you got to keep people engaged.
Oh.
I think it'll be like 2 hours and 50 minutes.
It went from here, and it went.
They
my
totally did,
my
yeah.
big thing when it comes to needing an intermission is I don't know about you guys, but I've sat down and binged Netflix for much longer than 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Or I've sat down with a good game and just played for extended periods of time, probably way too long.
If you play Call of Duty Zombies, you hold it in for a long time.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
I mean, so I don't think that 3.5 hours is that like long of a time to be sitting in a chair, especially because more and more theaters are getting these like almost
Catheters.
extravagant like chairs.
Reclining,
Like-
vibrating,
like
weird.
Well,
chair.
I don't want a vibrating chair if I have to use the bathroom. That seems counterintuitive.
Like,
True.
it really doesn't seem like that.
It's not.
So I don't think they really need one. I can understand, like in a play or a classic theater production, but those, if you look at the seats, they're like not comfortable. You want to get up and you want to
Yeah.
move.
And if you're worried about having to use the bathroom, just don't drink for 24 hours beforehand.
Don't
Go
get
in
a-
incredibly dehydrated.
And don't drink. And don't
gonna
get a
be
large
perfect.
drink when you go to the theater.
Let me tell you this:
Try things.
it takes about 15 minutes for sodas and juices and stuff to work through your bloodstream, and to be able to be urinated out. It takes water 2 hours to do the same thing. So don't drink soda.
Problem solved.
Boom.
See, the problem is you and I will buy a large drink, and by the time the previews are over, we're
Well,
done.
because there's so many
it's already
freaking previews.
Very true.
That's the thing. The movie runtime might be under 3 hours, but when you add in the previews, we're at
Yeah.
about 4.5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, and this is a movie where if I had to go, I'm
Everybody's gonna be gonna want their preview for this movie because they know people are gonna go see this movie.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I think we have a Star Wars preview for it.
We'll have Star Wars. We'll probably have another Spider-Man.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Things like that. I don't think there needs to be an intermission. You haven't really chimed in much. What
No,
about this
I
intermission?
mean I agree with all you guys. There shouldn't be an intermission. I think it's stupid.
Oh,
I think
hang on,
it's,
Stephanie. I always use the restroom before. I actually wait till the commercials usually start, and then I slip out and use the bathroom. I know how to do this.
Oh,
I've
you
done it
legitimately
before.
slip out.
I'm on my belly.
Yeah.
You remember in how
Like
the
a
Grinch
seal.
Stole Christmas, the
Yeah.
classic one. He's just kind of sliding around the Christmas trees and stuff. That is me leaving the theater to use the restroom.
That's perfect.
He's afraid if he walks, he won't make it.
Look,
continue, please
the
continue.
whole thing is that yes, we will be using our commemorative weekly nerd diapers, and we're gonna sit there like zombies, watching all the
The trauma unfold.
the trauma unfold with all the trailers, and the stupid little bag of peanuts and the popcorn.
The
that get-
good news is there
Yeah.
won't be a stupid Pixar short before it.
Oh,
I won't have to worry about a mother eating her children.
that's true.
That's just weird.
It is.
I
weird.
will point out
How
that
else to describe it?
in the test screenings for Endgame, no one has gotten up to pee. They
nobody
didn't say
had
they didn't
to.
pee their
That's
pants
because
or
they're
anything.
strapped in. You're in the Clockwork Orange where he's strapped in and has his eyes forth. That is what's
Yeah.
going on at these
Perfect.
screenings.
Perfect.
They didn't say if they peed their pants or anything. They just said they never got up to use the bathroom.
Like seriously, who are these people that are getting into watch? Like,
I volunteer as trivia.
I volunteer.
Show me the
too, I'm in.
6-hour unedited cut.
Yeah.
I'm in.
The Zack Snyder version.
You know what? Just bring me to the when they're filming, and I'll be fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
just
be
sitting
cool
in a
with that,
chair.
you know? Like, who's the person who was like,